Hello, Amanda Fisher, the Cash Flow Queen, and I'm just shocked and stunned by what's happening in Victoria and by their level 4 restrictions and what that's going to do for businesses across Melbourne, across the state, and ultimately across Australia. And I think whilst we all thought perhaps in the early days it's just a passing phase and we'll get through this relatively easily with some degree of, difficulty, particularly in some industries, I think the reality's really hit home. This is not going to go away in a hurry, and we're here trying to find ways to survive for the long run. And yes, I'm a chartered accountant. I'm trained, but I've made mistakes too. I've been in this position back in 2009 after the global financial crisis. My business plummeted. My revenues tanked. It was a disaster. My business manager quit and told me not to replace her, that I couldn't afford to replace her. And I had staff members leave that I just didn't replace. And in the end, I had to terminate staff as well because I couldn't afford to keep paying them. Downsize. And one of the reasons that I got into some of the pickle I got into at that point was I wasn't looking at my numbers. Sure, I should have known better. Of all people, I should have known better, but I didn't. I wasn't looking at the numbers because I was afraid of how bad they were. So I've been there. I know what it's like when you know it's bad and the last thing you want to do is really have it hit you in the face. Those numbers, they're staring you in the face, looking at just how bad it is. But what I know is that when you face the situation head on and you have all the facts, then you can make decisions. And it's a bit like, when you've got an ankle pain or something doesn't feel right and you're not quite sure what it is, and you imagine all the worst case scenarios until you go to the doctor and the doctor diagnoses you and says you've got X and you need to do A, B, C, D to fix it, or, take these tablets or do this walking, or I don't know, whatever it is. And suddenly it's like, oh, I can do that. In the meantime, you've freaked out thinking it was every worst case scenario you could imagine. And that's what's happening now. You're thinking that it's the worst case scenario. And whilst it is bad, and I'm not for a moment taking away from the fact it is bad, in some industries, this is really, really super tough. But I want you to know that there is a way, and I would love to help you. I'm here to help. I have, that's what I do. Those people that know me and know me well know that I just want to help everybody. And I can't help everybody one-on-one. But if you've got a problem, if you've got challenges with cash flow, I just want to help. I want to help you to map out what the next few months look like, maybe the next 5 months through the end of the calendar year. So you can start to have a plan and start to take control of your numbers again. If you're interested in doing that, taking a bit of control and finding out how you can take control of your numbers, I'll pop a link below. Check it out. I'd love to help. I'd love to be there holding your hand side by side to help you through these challenging times. And if you want some more help, don't be afraid to just direct message me and say, Amanda, can we have a quick chat? I need some help. I just want to help. Because I know we can get through this. In some cases, it's the hard truth. In other cases, it's a case of really focusing on those numbers, focusing on what you can control, and then making those decisions you need to make once you have that information in your hot little hands. My little motto is always to make your numbers count. So make your numbers count. Every single one of them is so, so precious right now. Make your numbers count. Do something to make sure that you're taking action and not allowing circumstances around you to dictate exactly what the next 5 months look like.